Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it's our Wednesday's kit class. Today I'll be showing not cards, but instead a fun way to package little birthday gifts using the new In the Wild suite. Going to hold I flip and I'll show you. We'll get started. All right. So today I'm making these awesome, or showing you how to make these awesome DSP bags. Let me show you what they look like. So there's this one right here that's more of a girly one. And then we have this one right here that is just pretty awesome. I just love the way that one turned out. And today is our Wednesday's kit class. So what that means is that if you order between Wednesday and Friday of this week, you will get this kit for free. All the paper items that I'm using and the embellishments I will send to you after you place a $35 order using this month's hostess code. All those links will be below in the comments of the Facebook video and also in the description on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe so you can see my Wednesday's kit class every week. All right, so what we're using today is DSP to make these awesome little boxes and bags is what I'm going to call them. They kind of have a box bottom, but then a bag top. These were inspired by a couple different demonstrators. So this design is actually by Rhonda Wade, but then she had shared it, and then another demonstrator named Rachael, let's see, what's her last name? Trant? I'm going to say that wrong. Also recently showcased these, and I just loved them and thought they were so cool. And then this fun tag idea came from another demonstrator who is a member of my Queens team that I'm a part of called Melody Hyde. And she is a concept artist and just amazing. So I'm excited to show you how to make that one as well. Let me go ahead and show you where you can find this in the annual catalog. All right, so this suite is pretty amazing. It comes with the stamp set, it comes with these dies, and then the DSP and an embossing folder. And that's for all one price. If you want all of those items. If not, you can pick and choose which ones you want. I got all of them and I just love it. Let me show you, because the DSP is on sale right now for the month of July. They're 15% off, just a couple of our DSPs, not all of them, but this is one that's on the list. And this one, let me show you this side first and how cool this DSP is. I love all of the print. It looks really, really busy all together, and I know that. But once you take it and make individual items with it, it's pretty awesome. So there's this busy side here, and let's go ahead and flip it over, and I'll show you the other side. So there's 6 different prints on this side. And now we have 6 different ones on that side. So this is now $9.78 for a 12-pack of paper that's double-sided and 2 of each design. Let me also show you a really cool feature with this paper. Stampin' Up! Lately has been adding to their skills, and they are helping us by using their DSP and their dies together. So let me show you. It's called Big Cat Dies. Looks like this, and they have the outlines of the stamped images and also some extra wild looking items, this cool leafy one and the outlines for some of those other stamped images. All right, so if I were to take this one right here, if I can get it out, there we go, and I could line it up and die cut this. So I'd put this into my die cutting machine and I would be able to cut that out perfectly. As you can see, there's another one right here, but he's facing the wrong direction, right? I couldn't go ahead and do that. So what actually the CEO of Stampin' Up, Sarah Douglas, she said what to do is to flip it over, and then you can see, and then hold it up to the light, and then you can washi tape this part on, and then you could cut it out perfectly as well. You could always fussy cut this if you wanted to, but if you want that super nice, clean look, use the die and the awesome flip trick. All right, I'm going to set that aside, and let's get our projects back in. So I'm going to show you how to make this one, and then I'll show you how to make both tags. Sound good? Let's go ahead and get that right there so you see it. And let me get our pieces ready. So this is a really simple bag or box. Like I said, it has more of a box bottom and a bag front. This one doesn't need any score lines. This is 6 by 12 inches, and I have not scored this at all. This, however, is 3.5 by 3.5 square, scored at the 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. We're going to then take our paper snips, and we're going to just cut on the score to the next score on 2 of these sides that are parallel. So let's flip it over completely and grab it just like that, and just cut right to the next score. Awesome. Grab your bone folder, and we're going to use that to get our edges nice and crisp. If you don't have a bone folder, you could use like the back of your scissors maybe, but I tell you, this is the best, $7 I've ever have ordered is this bone folder, because I use it for every single project, and it just is so handy. All right, I think I have most of those ready to go, and what you want to do next is go ahead and put these tabs in. Push them in just like that, and then we're going to add our adhesive. And my adhesive for this one is our Stampin Seal Plus. Looks like this guy, and I just need a little bit, and that's why I'm choosing to use this one instead of like tear tape, because that's a tiny little piece, like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. That's a hard piece to cut off just right, or even tear right. So this one I was able to put it on just perfectly, and it's the stronger adhesive for the double-sided tape like this. All right, we'll go ahead and grab our bottom of our box, and we're just going to go ahead and line them up. So you just kind of turn it, and you go like that and pinch it so it's corner to corner. Just the bottom of our bag. You'll do that to all 4 sides. Line up, and I like to pinch it right there to make sure that it attaches really well. And there we go. So that's our bottom of our box, just like that. Next, let's take our DSP, and we're gonna make sure you look at it to see which direction your paper is going. And that's going to be careful, or something you need to do very carefully when you're cutting this paper as well. Make sure you look at the direction you want it to go, and you want your images to be horizontal on the 12-inch side. Then we're going to flip it over. This is my up, this is my down, or my bottom, I should say. We'll flip this over, and we're going to add some tear tape to the bottom and to one of the sides. All right, make sure you guys can see this all. There we go. So here's my tear tape, another favorite adhesive of mine. I'm just going to take it and kind of eyeball it like that, kind of measure it over, and then I just rip it from one end. We're going to get as closest to the bottom as we can for this one. You pull it up high, and then you lower it down low, just like that. And looks like I didn't measure very well, so I can just add a little bit more to fill that spot, just like that. And that should be good. Then we need to do some tear tape on this side right here. It doesn't matter which side, but that's going to be your inside. The side that we are going to adhere at the very end. Okay. Looks pretty good. All right, here we go. So here, grab our bottom of our box, and what we're going to do is just remove a little bit of our backing to this tear tape. Sure you guys can see that okay. I know sometimes it goes out of focus, so hopefully you guys can see all of this perfectly. So I'm going to go just a little bit, and then I'm going to push that down. We're going to take our bottom of our box, it doesn't matter which way we start, and we're going to line up that corner to corner and push down. Grab your bone folder, and we're just going to use that to help press and attach that adhesive there. Okay, go ahead and peel off some more of the backing, like that. And you can push it down so that way we know it won't get in our way. And then we're going to start to roll. Make sure you guys can see this. I'm just going to roll this bottom of the box right onto that tear tape I just removed, that backing. Just like that. Okay. We'll take our bone folder and go inside. to make sure it's attaching nicely. And then peel off some more. And I'm doing little by little. I'm sure you could do the whole thing, but my hands are good about getting in messes. And so I try to avoid them by making it safer and just doing a little bit at a time. All right, continue that roll. Again, lining up that bottom of that DSP to our bottom of our box. Use your bone folder. You guys are kind of catching on, right? You know what I'm going to do now. I just remove that part there. And I'm going to roll this one again. And just make sure it's nice and straight and lines up. There we go. We're almost to the end. You grab my bone folder, make sure that one's good. There we go. Remove the last of this one that we had on the bottom. And also remove this one on the end. And if you have too much tear tape like I do at the top, you just roll it over like that. Okay. Our last roll, or you could pick it up at this point and match it over like that to that end. And then make sure you match that to the top right there. Grab our bone folder and go over that last tear tape that we just attached. And there we go. You would fill this with some of your favorite things, maybe some yummy candy or some lotion, whatever would fit into this fun little box. The great thing about it is that it stands and it's pretty sturdy and it's double-sided, so you can see the inside also has a fun print as well. All right, so let's find the back right here. You can tell the back because it has that end that we just finished. And we're going to flip it over and then we're just going to pinch it like this. We're not going to use any score lines or anything like that. We're just going to pinch it so that way it has a natural gather. And grab the hole punch of your choice. This is the 1/2-inch circle punch, which is retired. But whatever you have, you can use, even a regular standard size hole punch. And go just about center and punch a hole through. Just like that. Awesome. Then you would take your ribbon. I'm going to use this natural gold looking one today. And we're going to go ahead and just thread it through our 2 holes. For this, it just depends on how big you want your bow. I'd say at least 12 inches to give you some wiggle room. And you can always trim down as well. Okay. We're going to tie a knot on this one and then leave it for a hot minute because we need to make our tags. So that's how this one would look so far. And we'll set this aside. You guys ready for the tags? So that bag was super easy, right? Not too hard and uses up just a 1/2 sheet of 12 by 12 DSP. Okay, for our tag, let's get him in view so you can kind of see him. I've used a couple different things. Let me tell you about each one. I've used the tailored tag dies to cut out the shape, and you want to cut the shape first. And then I've embossed it with our animal print embossing folder, which is just amazing. Look at that, so much detail there. Then I went ahead and I have die cut the wild using the playful alphabet letters. But before I did that, I went ahead and stamped on the stripes. But before I did that, let me flip it over so you can see, I've attached some foam adhesive. It's just a little strip right here. And when we're ready, these will pop right out, and I've made my own little adhesive, or like kind of like dimensionals on the back of all of it. So that's pretty amazing because these little shapes are so hard to put dimensionals on because they're so narrow that using that foam sheet to create it, the pop is genius. Just love that. Okay, let me show you how to stamp that cool tiger print real quick though. So this is what it looks like. It actually fills in the tiger right here. If I were to stamp on, yep, I think it does both actually, if I remember right. It has this really cool pattern on it. And we would stamp that to make the tiger stripes. However, we want just some tiger stripes to cut out our wild. So you're going to stamp about 4 of these. Let me grab my foam sheet real quick. There we go. Since I'm using photopolymer, I want just a little bit extra give. And you start from one side and stamp it in your memento or a basic black. Then I wanted to flip it over like that. Awesome. And then kind of make it like a puzzle piece. I want them to fit together so that when we cut them out, they're pretty close to each other. They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to flip it again. So that's a straight side there. So you would stamp that at least 4 times to give you enough space to cut out your wild. And it doesn't take up all of it. You can see it's probably about 2.5 inches by 1 inch. The strip here I made here was a 1 inch by, I think, 3. So that gives you an idea. And then let's go ahead and put that ink away. Oh, actually, let's keep it out. Let's finish stamping. I have just a strip of basic white. And we're going to ink up our Have a Wild Birthday in the memento ink. And stamp that right there on the bottom. Perfect. We'll set that aside for now. And let me grab one more for the other one that we'll be doing later as well. And I was trying to decide which color I wanted to stamp that one in. And I think we'll just do the basic white as well. I tried earlier to do the embossing, and I just was having the hardest time with this font. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes the font is so little that to emboss with it, like the heat emboss, is really difficult. So we'll set that one aside for our pink tag. And let's go ahead and finish this one up. So what we need to do next is grab a sponge and your either crushed curry, because that matches the colors on the paper, or your pumpkin pie. I thought the pumpkin pie looked more like a tiger, and so we're going to use that one and a sponge. And you're going to keep it in here, because as soon as we take these out, it's really a lot harder to work with. So when I send you this, what you'll do for your kit, you will have it cut out, but not stamped. So you will have to go ahead and finish stamping it. I will even have the thumb on the back of this one in your kit. So that way you can attach it. It's super easy too. All right, so we have our sponge, and I'm just going to ink it up in that pumpkin. I'm going to turn this so I can see it, use it a little bit easier. And I only want it to be sponged on half. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top half, kind of give that two-tone. This is crushed curry for my bottom of my base. And since I started with a colored paper, it means I only have to use one color to sponge. It's a pretty neat trick. And then since I'm doing a light color with a darker color, it works out great. Okay. That looks pretty good. If you're worried about being straight or anything, feel free to use like a Post-it note. I could have used that to keep a straighter line, and then I've inked it up that way. Totally up to you. All right, let's put our pumpkin pie away. And let's go ahead and make this tag. Let's grab the crumb cake one that I've already embossed and use die cut with the tailored tag dies. And let's take out our wild. And you can go wild and have the wild be kind of crazy. I did that more with the girl one, the pink one, kind of just crazy orientation, or you can keep it as straight as you want. But you want to start with your W on one side. And look at that. Sticks on. Perfect. And it's popped up. Look at that. As you can see. I just love that. All right. Same thing. And the way I'm peeling this, the backing's actually staying here. And I'm just taking it, and it's already sticky. We have our I. Let's grab that L. And our D. I didn't go too wild with this one, and this one's pretty straight, actually. That's okay. All right. Let's grab that. Have a wild happy birthday. Nope, a wild birthday. No happy. And we're going to fussy cut. We're just going to trim off the birthday. We don't need the wild because we already have it as part of our letters there. And you're just going to trim it to size, whatever size you want. You can have it as thick as you want or as close as you want to the letters. I go pretty small. So we have our have a and our birthday. Just like that. I love the idea of having these ready, so when I have a birthday that comes up, I could just quickly put things together inside my own little gift bag. I'm going to use liquid glue to attach these ones, and you don't need very much. Oop, and that came out really fast. It's upside down. So here's a fun trick. If you think you have too much glue on one, you could just take the piece of paper you want to glue also and use it kind of like a brush and spread it out, or you could grab a scrap and help to get it off as well. So there's our birthday, and have a wild. Perfect. Isn't that looking so cool? I just love the way this is turning out. All right, lastly, for this tag, or a couple more steps, I should say, we have this fun DSP tiger we could put on there, or this one. This is the one I used earlier, and all you have to do is, this is part of the DSP, which is on sale for July, and you're just going to go around and trim it. Just fussy cut it around. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's a very small one. Those bigger tigers and cats have dies for them, but these little tiny ones do not. But they're pretty easy to cut out. All right, almost there. Done. And we will just put this wild guy on top of our D and to make it so people know this is our tiger wild. And I'm just liquid gluing him down. Super fun. All right, next let's grab our black and white twine. This is a combo pack that carried over and just is perfect for this one. You need about 10 inches, so I'm just using my grid paper down here to measure. In fact, I'm going to do 8 inches. Last time I did 10, it was a little bit too much. And then we're going to put this through our hole on our tag. Try to do both at the same time. Grab it to the loop at the end and pull it through. There we go. If you were to keep this tag single, you can go ahead and tie a knot on each end, or you can leave it alone, just depending on what style you like it to look like, or if you don't want those to fray. When we attach it to this one, this will be knotted. So what I do is I take with it, make a little circle, and put the ends through the circle to make it so we can attach it to our bag, just like that. Super cute, right? I just love it. All right, let's go ahead and attach that to our bag. We just go ahead and put one piece of our ribbon through, and we'll tie a bow. We'll see how good my bow is today. It's hit and miss for me. Sometimes they're really nice, and sometimes my bows struggle. Oh, that one's a little bit crazy and crooked, but I think you get the idea. And then you would just trim it and make it a beautiful bow with your fun little cute tag. Oh, I love it. All right, let me show you really quick how to do the pink one. The bag is just the same way. You would have your piece of 6 by 12 of that DSP. This DSP is not in that Wildcats one though. This is part of the Hostess only DSP. That's $18 of your Hostess rewards, and you can get that when your party goes over $150 or you spend $180 all by yourself. You can get this with your rewards for free. All right, so that's this paper here and our bottom there. Same measurements as before, and let's grab our tag. So this is the Blushing Bride, and I've cut out our wild. This time I'm leaving this wild flat. And we're just going to add just a little bit of adhesive on the back of it. And I used the opposite side of our bag. So you kind of see this one had more of a, once it's cut out, kind of looks like a zebra to me. And that's why I thought it would be a fun print to use. We're just going to do a little bit of adhesive on all of these. Like that. Oh, and you know what this tag needs? This tag needs some sort of embellishment. Like a rhinestone to bling it out, right? I left that one fairly plain, but maybe I'll add some rhinestones if I have them nearby. Okay, we'll do the W. I'll grab this I. And again, I want this one to be a little bit more wild, a little bit more playful. So my letters for this one are going to be tilted and uneven. There we go. I'm using the liquid glue for this one because of the texture on this needs to be able to grab it and get into those nooks and crannies of the embossed paper there. All right. We have our same have a wild birthday. And on this tag, see, I did the birthday for this one, but it just was not coming out very nice. And so for yours, I'll just give you a strip of white and you can stamp on there to make your saying. Do a trim that. Okay. Perfect. And I just need to trim these up just a little bit. If you wanted your wild to look a little bit more pop up and stand up more, but not use dimensionals or the foam adhesive sheets, you could go ahead and cut out a double wild and put like a pink backing to it or a black backing. Kind of create a shadow. All right, let's go ahead and put a little bit of, oh, this one I actually did pop up on the other one. So we're doing opposites. I had the wild pop up in that one, and now I'm having the have a birthday pop up in this one. You can use either mini dimensionals or cut a larger dimensional in half. Or use the sides of a dimensional too. Those are pretty thin and great for these smaller pieces. And get it to flip. There we go. Put the birthday down here at the bottom. And then I need some bling, right? Let me grab a rhinestone or two. Hold on. Here's where I keep my adhesives. And so it looks pretty beat up now, but it's a old wood block case from Stampin Up. And I put a lot of my adhesives in here that are just the flat ones. So I go through them. Oh, this one would be a pretty one. That's those champagne rhinestones. And let me see if I have any basic rhinestones in here right now. I might be all out of those basic ones. Let's go ahead and just use the champagne and we'll call it good. It does need some bling though, right? Okay. Black would have been good too. There's that matte black ones. Those ones could have been fun. Kind of just put just a couple of these guys. And there we go. Super cute. So that just gave it a little bit more shine to it. All right, lastly, we just need to grab some of our basic twine. This is the black one. And cut about that same 8 to 10 inches, depending on how long you want your tag to be. And thread it through that hole. And create that tag. All right. So there we have our final tag. I didn't make the second bag, but it was the same idea as the first. And I use this white crinkle ribbon for this top instead of that golden one. Let me grab them back in so you can see them all again. Just how cool. I love how that turned out. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've had fun learning how to make this fun DSP bag. And be sure to order by Friday if you want to get this kit for me. And be sure to grab some DSP when you're ordering as well, because it is 15% off this month. All right, you guys, have a wonderful week. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.